Bernadette Nguisa now plays in France for Union Hainault, so one loss has been replaced by a pretty good player. So yeah, it should be close. Let's hope so.
As I mentioned, Egypt with the youngest roster at the tournament. 4 players for them under the age of 19 on their 12-woman roster. And then for experience, there's 5 players that have played at either the 2013 or 2015 tournaments. They were also the youngest team at the last African Championships in Cameroon a couple of years ago. They managed to defeat the then reigning champions Angola in the group stage, going on to finish 8th with a 3-5 overall record. And I suppose the challenge for them is to try and beat that 8th place finish and make it perhaps through to the semi-finals. That would be a huge achievement. But young players who want to make a mark and who've achieved at youth level, sooner or later they're going to have to bring that to the senior stage.
Yeah, looking down at the Egyptian side, there doesn't seem to be an awful lot of size there compared to their opponents today, the DR Congo. May have their work cut out on the boards, the young Egyptians. But good to see a coach who's confident enough to blood young players. Mind you, that late withdrawal of one of his star players, he's going to have to regroup almost entirely, I would think.
We are just now a few minutes away from the second game at these Women's AfroBasket Championships. DR Congo against Egypt. Hearing the voice of former GB women's coach Roy Birch alongside me, Tim Long, for this one. We're expecting the official introductions of the 2 sets of players shortly. As far as Egypt's concerned, they're a nation that have had great success at these championships, but a long, long time ago. They won the first ever title back in 1966. They repeated in 1968. Then in the 70s won a couple of silver medals and a bronze, but they've now gone 4 decades without a podium finish. And there's a real air of optimism about the chances, maybe not perhaps at this tournament, but in coming years, that these young players will develop and be able to challenge for a medal once again. They've qualified for this tournament as winners of the Zone 5 qualifiers, beat Kenya and Uganda along the way, and also had a training camp that's lasted more than a month, so they should be well prepared, Roy.
Oh, definitely. And it's always good to remind people, viewers, that what's at stake here. Remember, 2 groups of 6, and when everybody's played everybody in the group, the round robin, single round robin, it's just the top 4 teams from the 6 that go through to the quarterfinals. Top team in one group plays the 4th team in the other. It's always a great saying in basketball: if you're going to lose, don't lose big, because you lose the first game, you can always qualify. But if you lose big, like Guinea just did, well, you can't really see too much of a future in the quarterfinals for Guinea. You never know, though. They have lost, what, 65 points, 66 points, was it? It's not good by any means.
The first edition of this tournament was back in 1966, and that 66 was the differential in the opening game of the 2017 tournament, 105 to 39 in favour of the defending champion Senegal over Guinea. We are expecting something much closer here. I talked about the past success of Egypt. For DR Congo, a couple of more recent medals for them. In 2001 they finished 3rd, picking up the bronze, and 4 years before that finished a little higher, picking up the silver. Still the gold eludes them, but 2 teams that certainly will have their sights set on a place in the quarterfinals at least, and this could be a key, crucial matchup in determining whether these 2 make it through to the next stage or not. In terms of world rankings, Egypt at 60, but perhaps, well, they will hope, a little skewed by the fact that they've now promoted many of the young players. I said they'd had great success at youth level. 5 podium finishes for the under-16s and under-18s at African Championships since 2009. 7 of their 12 players at the last senior tournament were under the age of 19 and caused 1 or 2 big upsets. So you hope, Roy, that there is an evolution of those players and gradually they can achieve a little more.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. If you come to a tournament like this, then if you're not going to win, then at least learn from the experience. Just as an aside as well, Tim, you did the first game. I was sitting behind the commentary position. You know, I couldn't hear myself think. the Senegalese fans, I really do appreciate enthusiasm with fans, but I'm not sure they got an awful lot out of that. It was just incessant noise, drumming, what are they, vuvuzelas or something? I mean, the noise was just deafening. Now, as well as teams learning from competitions, I think fans should as well. And those Senegalese fans, all the enthusiasm, etc., they should take a leaf out of the book of teams, clubs like countries like Lithuania. The Lithuanians, they've got big drums as well. They make a hell of a noise, but they do it at the right time. It's not incessant.
There's some kind of tune to it as well, which wasn't the case in the first game. But hey, give them credit. A few hundred of them turned up to watch the defending champions with that big win and made plenty of noise throughout. And it's a 5,000 capacity arena, the Palais des Sports here in Bamako, Mali. You just wonder what it's going to sound like when the hosts are in action a little later on today. Should be something special. It's a rather more timid and tepid atmosphere here for this second game.
Yeah, the hosts have first game in the evening, 8 o'clock tonight, local time, Mali against Tunisia. That should be a good game.
Look at your referees for this second game of game day 1. You hope that the spotlight isn't on them, and more so on the players who are looking to make their mark in this competition. You hope that they're just allowed to play and express themselves, Roy.
Yeah, good to see the African federations very confident using female referees as well nowadays.
Two sets of players out on court, and going through all the pre-game formalities, the team photographs. It's a big occasion for them. The first game of these championships, only 12 nations from the vast continent of Africa are able to have the privilege to play here. Egypt and DR Congo, 2 of those. They've worked hard. I said Egypt have been in a training camp for more than a month, as well as playing the qualifiers. They've put a lot in to get here. They want to savour the moment. And of course, they want to go as far as they possibly can as well.
Yeah, the World Cup, Spain next year. Africa will have 2 representatives there.
Back to the benches and back to business after those photographs now. Final words of the 2 coaches. We're ready for the official introductions. A couple of players to really keep your eye on for Egypt, but we'll see the introduction of the Democratic Republic of Congo first. They're back at this tournament for the first time since it was last here in Mali in 2011. They qualified before that in 2007 and 2005. Reached the semi-final round in 2003 as well. That makes it an even bigger occasion for them that they've gone 6 years without competition at this level.
It also, Tim, emphasises the fact that Senegal are historically so much stronger, so much more successful than any other teams. Because the Senegal have won 11 gold medals, whereas the DR Congo, they're second in the medals table as far as golds are concerned. And they've won 3, 11-3. What a gap that is. It just shows how strong over the years Senegal have been. And DR Congo, they want to return to former glories. But they've got a very young and a very enthusiastic Egyptian team up against them today.
We're seeing the introduction of those Egyptian players. The number 8, Soraya Deghadi, is their big rising star. Averaged an impressive 19.5 points, 6.8 assists in the Zone 5 qualifying tournament. The number 14, Menatala Awad, is the captain and an experienced player to guide the youthful squad. She was the leading scorer with over 13 points, as well as close to 7 rebounds at the tournament in Cameroon 2 years ago. I say she's one of the more experienced and one of the leaders. She's only 25 still, and that just goes to show how young this team is. Both teams introduced, and we're going to pause now for the national anthems, starting with Egypt.
Nous allons partir à présent avec l'hymne national. Madame la commissaire de match, Rokayatou Ouy. Nous allons partir à présent avec l'hymne national de RD Congo.
We're just about ready for the second game at the FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017. Myself, Tim Long, alongside former GB Women's head coach Roy Birch, ready to talk you through the action here at the Palais des Sports. DR Congo, bronze medalists at the turn of the millennium, up against Egypt, who had great success back in the 60s and 70s, but are without a podium finish in 4 decades. It's a proud moment, Roy, for those players when they hear that national anthem at the big stage of African international basketball for the first time after putting in all that hard work.
It certainly is. I'm just a little bit concerned looking at the lineup. We've said on more than one occasion how young the Egyptian side is, and I think we can apply the word small as well. There is a definite height advantage for the the Democratic Republic of Congo.
And that could be a huge factor in this one. Two contrasting styles, perhaps. We'll have to see how it develops for these two teams. And also you wonder, we talk about the young players for Egypt and the fact they need a few leaders guiding them. You wonder how those youthful years will affect their tournament. Sometimes it can go one way and mean they play completely without fear. Sometimes they can feel the nerves. We're about to find out.
Well, again, we have to repeat that Egypt have had a major disruption. They've lost the services of Ranim El-Dagawi. She's sorting a visa out to go to college in the States. So the coach has had problems very late on. I just wonder how his players are able to cope with the loss of one of their star players, if not the star player.
A few of the players just going through their final warm-up, trying to find the right stroke and a bit of confidence perhaps around the basket. And we're a little late tipping this one off. Should have been about 8 minutes ago, so they have had a longer wait to get going, which you wonder again how that might affect the butterflies in the stomachs of those young players in particular. Congo look to have their game faces on. We're looking at a really jovial mood as well. High fives all round. Good to see smiles on faces too. Egypt looking very serious. And a lot of pressure, I imagine, as well on these young players, because a lot isn't expected of them. They've had that 4-decade drought without a medal, and they're sort of being seen now as the golden generation, and that pressure can have an impact too.
Yeah, apologies to our viewers. There seems to be a problem with the scoreboard. It's flickering on and off. One or two electrical problems here, so that's why the delay. As you say, Tim, let's hope the players, their nerves aren't afraid at this stage.
It is something that does tend to affect younger players more, and we're going to perhaps learn a lot about these young Egyptian stars when we finally do get down to action, how it's affected them, how prepared they are, how used they are to this kind of situation and this kind of stage. Very different doing it at youth level. This, for many of them, will be as big as it gets. The Continental Championship. Very few African nations ever get to compete on grander stages at the World Cup or the Olympics.
Yeah, again, apologies. There is a definite problem with the table. Referees are just wandering down to let the coach know what the delay is all about. Always good to repeat initial instructions. Just in case anyone has forgotten their role.
I was going to say, Roy, if you were the coach in this situation with this kind of a delay and you had a young team, what would you be saying to them?
Well, apart from repeating what they've said in the locker room, just try and turn off for a few moments. You can make things rather complicated. Remember, basketball is a very simple game. Stick the ball in the hoop and try and stop your opponents doing the same. There's a little more to it than that, but...
The second of 6 games on game day 1. A little delay, but it looks like we're getting closer to the opening tip. We're seeing the starting fives for the two nations. I talked a bit about Tekadi, one of their rising stars, the captain Menatala Awat, a couple of their key players.
Also look out for Muriel Muganza for the Central African Republic and their key rebounders. Look out for number 12. Or to give her a full name, Muriel Muganza Nyota. If and when she comes on, if and when she starts.
We see there Nyota indeed in the starting 5 for DR Congo, along with a few more of those names that you mentioned.
Well, lady referee getting a little impatient now.
I think we all are. But the coaches might take some benefit from this. You see the Egyptians with coach Amir Ashour, who had a big selection headache ahead of this tournament, given the success of so many of the women's youth players. In the end, 4 under-19s making the grade.
Oh, my word. The referee's just spotted some jewellery.
Here we go, finally ready to get underway. The second game at FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017. Former GB Women's head coach Roy Birch alongside me, Tim Long, for this one. DR Congo up against Egypt. And a pivotal game perhaps in the group. They will play 5 group games altogether. But this is one that both of these will see as very much winnable.
If they can ever get started. Yeah, someone has just had to be reminded that she's actually in the starting 5 and she needs to do her laces up.
Kapinga Kalumbo for DR Congo. Surely not tactical to make sure those young Egyptians wait a little bit longer.
Well,
exacerbate the nerves.
Surely you're not that cynical, Tim.
Just looking around, we've got 5 ready on each side. The referee's certainly ready.
And the Egyptian coach looks a little perplexed. Side of the court there. Still a problem with the electrics, I think. Ah, thumbs up at last.
Dead on 15 minutes. After we should have got going, we finally do. And it's Congo looking for the first score. Picked up by Teba. Across to the far side it goes. From the paint, a good look. Good ball movement too, put in by Mafuta. Fantastic way to start. Osama. Across it goes to Al-Sharawi. Outside shot off the rim. Rebound good for Congo. And they look to push the ball quickly down the floor. Colombo.
You said outside, Tim. That was downtown Bamako almost. That was so far out. If that's what the Egyptians are relying upon, they may have problems.
Teba was off the mark with that one as well for the Congolese. Across it goes to Al-Sharawi again. Looking to attack into the paint this time. Couldn't quite get the bounce off the front rim. Again, Congo looking to force the issue in transition. On the far side, short. And now a chance for Egypt to do the same. It's Dekadi. It's a rather erratic start from both teams.
Well, when you're being outsized, you're not going to get too many fast breaks off defensive rebounds. And when you get one, you've got to put it in.
Colombo had the ball knocked away that time as it's moved into Mafuta. She misses that one. There's 3 Egyptians under the hoop, able to bring the ball down eventually. Looking to go all the way through was Menatala Rawad, the captain, but in the end losing it out of bounds.
Well, the tactics of Egypt pretty obvious. They're going to try and run the DR Congo off the floor.
Miyoko wins out that one. Second chance for Wangi.
Yeah, not a rebounder in sight for Egypt.
shots here for Kabobo Wangi. She gets the first to go. DR Congo with a good platform to build off here at the start. They are being well supported. We didn't get an awful lot of noise before the opening tip, but they're making some noise now away to our left. Maybe only 100 of them in here, but certainly turning up the volume at the Palais des Sports. Osama back to Helwa, and then Dekadi. Dekadi being forced backwards here, able to recover. 5 left on the shot clock. She moves it into Helwa again. Down to 2 now, had to be forced up, way off the mark.
So far, defense from the DR Congo rules.
Tabor to the corner, 3-point shot. Colombo is good. What a start for DR Congo, a 7-0 surge. In fact, she must have had a toe on the line. They've called that a 2. A 6-0 start nonetheless. And the foul called as Rima Sama was handling the ball on the perimeter.
I did wonder how long it was going to be before a foul was called, because it's a pretty physical game at the moment. Players reaching in.
It's been high-octane stuff in the first 3 minutes. Egypt searching for their first score of the tournament. Good look from the outside, left of the basket though from Osama. Chance for Congo to run the floor again. High pass was too high though. Aimed into the low post to Mafuta.
Well, the Egyptian Federation said they would not replace the player that's looking for a visa, Ranim El Dagawi, but we've got a player on the floor, number 69, and Helwa, who isn't in the original lineup, so they have replaced the 20-year-old.
Here's Gedhadi. Now El Sharawi looking to attack from that far side again, into traffic. And the ball knocked away, now to bounce.
At the moment, the inexperience of Egypt is there for all to see.
To be toes on the line that time, but Dekadi knocks it down.
Right on cue, they bury a long one.
Finally, it does go down as a 3 for Egypt. They're up and running at AfroBasket Women 2017.
Oh, that's terrific boards from the DR Congo.
As soon as Egypt score, Congo come right back at. And continuity now, Egypt. Helwa.
This is better from Egypt, moving the ball around.
Open look for 3, won't go down. They're getting some good looks though. Trying to force a turnover here, picked up though by Wangi, who gets inside and combines with Nyoka.
DR Congo doing the right thing against a smaller lineup, banging it inside.
Dekadi uses the big frame of Helwa. Dekadi gets free, and again it's a great look for 3. They're just not hitting that shot at the moment. Helwa the offensive board. Can't do it at the second attempt either. When it goes to Nyoka, who scored the last basket. From the foul line, put up and put in by Mafuta.
That's very unselfish play from the DR Congo. Flipping the ball around, finding the open man, and she buries the jumper.
Osama. She's been guilty of a couple of those outside misses. This time drives inside and misses.
Well, Egypt looking to make a substitution. I would suspect halfway through this first quarter, a timeout may be more appropriate. Then again, the coach showing some confidence in his players, letting them sort it out themselves.
There's a thought for an outside shot again there, but moving inside and getting it to go off the backboard was Dekadi. It's the second field goal in the opening 5 and a bit minutes for Egypt. And it goes to Nyota, who's fouled. That stops the clock just over the midway point of the first quarter, 12-5.
That's not smart defense from Egypt. They allow 2 passes, and then when the ball goes inside, they commit the foul. about some defense on the first pass? Now that's better defense. They have a 3-on-1.
Coming in transition on the fast break. Nice pass and a simple finish for Awad.
That's more like it from Egypt. Ambitious or what?
They're very much back in it now, only trailing by 5 with possession, Egypt.
Well, a simple situation there, trying to get the ball into the low post, but there was no angle for the pass.
So quickly things can turn. It looked like a very promising start from DR Congo. And a couple of quick turnovers. Now Egypt a chance to make it a one-possession game. We're going to have a timeout on court first. 4 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's the Democratic Republic of Congo who lead Egypt by 12 points to 7.
Well, you summed it up perfectly before the time it was called there, Tim. Egypt have got themselves back into the game, trailing by 5 after a very, well, I'll use the word, scrappy start from them, relying very, very much on their outside threat. And their defense really hasn't, at the moment, been able to cope with the difference in size of the DR Congo. But they're only 5 points behind. 4:22 to go in the first.
They have struggled to deal with that size, but at the same time, even when they were trailing considerably in the opening few minutes, they were creating good looks on the offensive end. Sooner or later, a few of those shots were going to start to fall.
Yeah, Carson going back to some of those open looks. They were open, but they were very snatchy at the same time. Shooting from, well, closer to the sideline for a three-point shot, and it wasn't really a textbook shot, it was a heave at the hoop. But they've got themselves back in the game. And as we say, we take no sides here, we do want close games.
Egypt with possession off the back of the timeout. Tekani. To drive inside, so nice pass, really nice, and it rattles around and drops for Noor Ali, who's coming to the game.
And that was all drawn up in that timeout. That's much better passing, movement of the ball by Egypt. Now it's bad defense for Egypt.
DR Congo got to try and answer back. Mid-range shot, slightly contested, wouldn't go for Modiri, who's also coming to the game. Here's Noor Ali, who scored that last basket for Egypt, got them within 3. They could get within touching distance or maybe even tie here.
I just wonder whether we'll see a timeout from DR Congo if Egypt score here. Mind you, they're very low in the shot clock.
Into the final 6 seconds, Tekani puts it up from deep. Nothing but net to tie the game. What a turnaround early on from Egypt.
That's how to come out of a timeout. 5 points without reply.
And the run is even longer than that as well. Stretching back before the timeout. Colombo. And it goes to the low post. There's that height advantage. Modiri puts it in.
The lead was short-lived.
Egypt, though, have found their feet in the first game of this tournament for these two nations. They've turned it over here, although it's turned right back with a toe on the line.
Almost a great hustle. Yoka there, chased the ball down, but sadly Herb bounced it on the sideline. DR Congo make a sub.
Any of those nerves that we talked about that might have been there for the young Egyptians probably have been put to bed now, and they're free-flowing, full of confidence. Tekani at the heart of it. Didn't quite come off in the end that time, but, well, doesn't look like there's any nerves anymore.
Youthful exuberance there from Soroya. Feet all over the place, and she still found the pass. Sadly, Egypt missed. But they're back in the game.
Mutombo to Nyota. Rises in the paint. Can't hit the shot. Grabs her own rebound, though. Back to Mutombo. Attacking from this side is Kalumbo. The hook shot will go again. It's the height advantage again. It's Modiri.
Nice inside play from DR Congo, smuggling the ball through a lot of defensive hands. And they have upped the ante, actually, on defence. That's good in our defence in the low post.
Dekani thought about the outside shot, gets in towards the foul line, moves it on. Very accomplished ball handler. There's the young player, the shot.
Oh, unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike indeed.
Wow. Let's see if we get a replay of that.
Democratic Republic of Congo by 4 points. Slow start from Egypt before coming back to tie at 12.
I'm not sure we've
got a chance to get closer.
I'm not sure we're going to get a replay of that unsportsmanlike. There we go. Let's see what happened. Well, the referee's a lot closer than we are, so we saw an unsportsmanlike shot, 2 shots and possession.
Dekani's been the standout player for Egypt so far. Gets them both from the line. She's quickly up to double figures. In fact, they've only had 2 players score. The captain, Awad's got the other 4 points.
DR Congo stepped up a gear on defence.
Wouldn't go down, would have been a long 2, I think, foot on the line from Sharif, but they grabbed the offensive rebound. Egypt as they look to tie or maybe even take the lead. Dekani! Oh my word! From way beyond the setting sun, almost touched the roof of this arena.
It's a much used expression, but that was almost downtown Marco.
Such a high arc on the shot as well.
And the first lead for Egypt.
Makiese out to the perimeter. Congo having to steady themselves and settle themselves now as that one's missed. They're a little rocked here by Egypt's comeback.
The DR Congo coach has just looked down the bench. He may have a time, and actually, lovely give and go, and the block shot.
Big time block. That maybe could settle Egypt, but they've given it away back to Egypt. I'm sorry, DR Congo, and then it's all getting a little erratic now as dribbling clear is Spalongia. And the foul on the 3-point shot, I think, as Makiese put it up.
The game has taken a very frenetic phase, Tim. End-to-end stuff, turnovers, fouls, and it's just a 1-point game. Very late in the first quarter.
We saw in the opening couple of minutes it had the potential to be that kind of game. The energy these 2 sets of players started with. We said that it could very well be a close game. It's looking that way at the moment. 17 apiece, 45 seconds remaining in the first.
So Jeanette Makiese has 1. Oh, she thought she had 3. No, the referee said you only got 2.
It's very close to being 3. Abdel Gawad. She goes on in towards the paint and moves away as they try and create a bit of room. Here's Sharif across the foul line to the far side to Ihab. Ihab with the runner, wouldn't go off the fingertips.
Nyota there, the defensive rebound. She had enough of that, said, I'm going to get these rebounds. And then they very nearly give it away.
It's a really hard-fought contest as it's almost backed in by Makiese.
Now Egypt, will they look up at the clock? 10 seconds. No need to look at it because DR Congo foul.
Foul with 6.5 remaining in the quarter. Shot clock turned off. And a couple of free throws for Radwa Sharif, who is part of Egypt's team at last month's Under-19s World Cup in Italy.
Egypt back in front. 6.5 seconds remaining in the first. They lead by 2.
Here we go, 4 seconds to get a shot away for DR Congo. Across it goes to Makiese. And that one is over the top of the shot clock.
What's the expression, Tim? That came down with snow on almost. What a turnaround.
Out the back door of the gym, I think, that one. And at the end of the first, it's been a fascinating game so far. Democratic Republic of Congo 17, Egypt 19 at the end of 1.
عليه وقعنا للجيش. هم في الاوفنس مش كويسين، نعمل احنا نركز شويه في ان احنا نقطع الكوره.
Democratic Republic of Congo 17, Egypt 19 in a fascinating back and forth first quarter in which Congo started very well indeed, burst out of the gates, and Egypt came back strong, scored 5 points to add to a run off the back of a timeout to take the lead for the first time. Congo then steadied themselves, and it's a very close game now, 2-point Egyptian lead. We've seen one of Egypt's star young players, Saria Deghadi, really stepping up. There's one of her outside shots. She's been the key protagonist in hauling Egypt back into this game, Roy.
Well, Tim, I reckon DR Congo shaking their heads in disbelief because they had the gaming, they had complete control of the game very early on, leading, was it 12-3, something like that? And then I expected Egypt to call a timeout. They didn't. They got themselves back into the game. Then they called a timeout. It's 5 in a row, and the game was tied. And really, DR Congo probably shaking their heads in disbelief, thinking, where did that lead go?
Deghadi, 13 of Egypt's 19 points, including 3 of 5 from downtown. And one of them was way back behind the arc, with such a high arc on it, dropped, hitting nothing but net. She has been the star so far, 4 of 7 from the field altogether. Nobody else for Egypt has scored more than the 4 from the captain Awad. As far as DR Congo are concerned, they've really spread their scoring around. 2 players on 4 in Mafuta and Modiri. A bunch of players on 2.
That does make it somewhat easier for a coach against a team, one player doing all the damage, whereas, as you say, Democratic Republic sharing the scoring around, but Egypt go 4 ahead.
Latumba. Bolongia. And Makiesi wasn't scared to put up a 3-point shot of her own in the first. This time goes inside, off the mark. So Egypt able to cut in transition here with Ihab, who dances away through the paint but can't finish with the left hand.
Well, it was almost a perfect fast break for Egypt. As you say, they missed. They may regret that if DR Congo score here.
Bolongia to Makiese. Again, she looks to go inside towards Modiri.
Again, example there, Egypt seemed quite content to allow a couple of passes on the perimeter. Then when it goes inside, they foul.
Always worth looking for Modiri when she's on the court. She's got the height advantage over everybody.
Modiri magical out of bounds there.
Looked to control that one and couldn't grab the handle on the ball. Ehab comes down court. It was momentarily 2-on-1, 2-on-2, but they can't make the most of it. Halawa, still a chance to score though. Sharif, again a good look from the outside, wide of the basket this time, but squeezed in at the second attempt. Egypt lead by 6, their largest lead of the game.
And some pressure up the floor as well.
They really have found their feet here. The young Egyptians. That's going to be a foul called against Noor Ali. They found their shooting range. Now the team in red, we talked about how they were getting some good looks but not taking them in the first quarter. They were 6 of 20 from the field in the first. The star player Deghadi hit 4 of those 6, so the rest of the team only hit 2 field goals between them.
And DR Congo, just 2 foul shots, almost criminal.
Abdel Gawad, another player who was at the Under-19s World Cup last month. Off the mark from Sharif. And a foul called as Natumba looked to bring the ball down court.
Well, amazingly, after that poor start by Egypt, they could have been about 12 points ahead now. They've missed open shots. Now 6 ahead, but it could have been so much better for them.
The dominance inside of DR Congo has dried up, despite the presence of Madiri on court, who they might look for again here, but it goes back to Lyotta. Here it is, in towards Madiri, but the pass wasn't great. It's touched by her out of bounds.
Well, the Egyptian zone is doing a good job at the moment. It was initially good passing by DR Congo. The final pass let them down.
Abdel Gawad across to the far side to Helwa, the late replacement. Now El Sharawi couldn't get that one to go. It was very close. Egypt threatening to extend their 6-point lead. Quarterback pass down court to Nyoka.
What a great pass down the floor, and it's 2 shots.
No other choice really but to foul. Or let her have the easy 2. They're going to make her earn them from the stripe. Foul on Remo Sama.
Again, that's 3 in a row they've missed from the foul line.
A slight concern, I suppose, though, for Egypt in this second quarter is that they've picked up their 4th foul. We're only less than 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Then again, if DR Congo can't shoot foul shots, the fouls probably don't matter.
The corner of the paint short from Sharif. Able to grab her own rebound, puts it back up again off the mark. Missing opportunities to extend their advantages. Sooner or later it's going to drop for DR Congo.
Oh, the zone.
Get free.
The zone got completely lost then. That's good passing from DR Congo.
They're back within 4. 3-point shot. A little too long from Remo Sama. Madiri it is who grabs the rebound. Lyotta who scored that last basket. Madiri, she's looking to drive in from the perimeter this time. Beautiful shot.
That's a tough move from Madiri. Actually, she got her feet all over the place, but still managed to score. Another 3-point attempt.
It's good this time for El Sharawi.
There's no fear there, is there?
Natumba trying to answer back-to-back threes. And as we were. Abdel Gawad on to Remo Sama.
DR Congo still in that man-to-man, and it's working.
Trying to grab her own rebound. Osama between 3 DR Congo players.
Held ball, and the direction indicator says it's DR Congo possession.
Egypt's 6-point lead cut to just 2. And they have that foul trouble as well. 1 foul away from DR Congo shooting free throws.
With
Every foul now will send DR Congo to the line.
With an age to go, 6 minutes. And there's Ryan Q, foul, 2 shots. Oh, it's a travel call. No, it's an offensive foul.
It's gone the other way. And that is DR Congo's first foul of the quarter, 4 minutes in. So Egypt's slender lead just about still intact. Remo Sama moving it on to Al Shawe.
This is tough defense from DR Congo.
They made it more difficult for Dekani in the second quarter, no doubt about that so far. She's trying to get free here and somehow puts it up.
So late in the shot clock as well. 22 seconds of tough defense. And Egypt score with, well, it wasn't exactly a prayer shot, but very close.
Seen straight away why she is their biggest young talent.
We'll have a 3-on-1, or we had initially. Oh, that's a good
ball
pass
on here, and there's a chance of a 3-point play for Hala El Shawe.
Great transition play from Egypt. And the lead back to 4.
DR Congo back within touching distance, and Egypt have picked their point to burst ahead again. Now a chance to make it largest lead at 7, although it's off the mark by El Shaarawy from the line.
Is that their first foul shot miss? That's too many.
Worth checking the numbers. It is indeed 4 of 5 they are now from the line.
Yeah, that's great zone offense, but yeah, I thought a foul has been called, and yeah, offensive foul again, and the score waved, I think.
Looks to be still a 6-point Egyptian lead. Approaching the midway point of the second quarter and the second game of the day on the opening day of the AfroBasket Women Championships.
Well, the DR Congo defense tried to squeeze a penetrating player there, but is she on the foul line? No, sideline.
They've got it as 4 fouls for DR Congo as well now.
3 quick ones.
Quickly caught up with Egypt. 3-point shot short from Hallowell.
I must confess, I don't think much of that choice is the first option from an out-of-bounds play.
Inside, back out, around the perimeter. They're calling for an inside again with Niotra. Goes the other way in towards Ungiose. A foul on that 3-point attempt from Mutumba.
And that was wonderful ball movement from DR Congo. Very patient play, sprayed the ball around and got 3 shots. Now the problem is, they haven't been particularly good from the foul line so far.
Egypt picked up 4 fouls in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds of this quarter. They've got about 3 minutes without one before eventually picking up the 5th. And that one misses as well for DR Congo, who are 3 of 9 from the stripe.
And they're shooting 40% now.
Chance to close the gap to 4 with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half, and they do. 2 of 3.
2 from 3 is not bad.
They will take that. A few smiles on Congolese faces. Takadi into Sharif.
Oh, lovely pass.
Beautiful. And dancing down the baseline to finish was Remo Sama.
Again, credit to both teams. The last 2 offenses, both teams shown an awful lot of patience, spraying that ball around. DR Congo doing it exactly the same again. Oh, a bit of a reach in there, but no call.
Takadi behind the back. Passes off to Astra Bakr. He's only just come into the game. Offensive foul call against Egypt that time. Egypt over the foul limit, but it is, of course, only defensive fouls that will send Congo to the stripe.
You can only assume the offensive foul's being called from a handoff situation. Chase down.
Remo Sama onto El Shaarawy. Quick spin by Bakr. She's going to find a passage all the way through the paint as well and gets fouled along the way.
Well, when you take the ball inside, the coach expects you to come out with something positive. She went 1 on 5. Okay, she came away with 2 foul shots. And the success from the foul line continues.
Egypt doing very well. In stark contrast to DR Congo from the stripe.
So Bekar puts 2 foul shots in, and for a paint, she takes a short break.
Egypt 6 of 7 now from the line. They've extended their lead to 8 points.
And really, DR Congo have only, on a few occasions, solved the problem of this 2-3 zone.
Moving out to the corner is Teba, unable to hit the shots, just not coming together for the Congolese at the moment. Dekadi, great range on her passing into Osama, who draws more contact and will go to the line.
You've got to say it's a very courageous move there by the diminutive Egyptian player. Took it to the hoop, got absolutely creamed, and has earned 2 foul shots. She's shaken. Yeah, she's okay. She's tough. She being Reem Osama.
She is one of their more experienced players, a key performer at the tournament in Cameroon a couple of years ago. A chance to make it a double-digit lead here.
That's cool.
It has been a very cool and confident performance from the Egyptians since the opening few minutes.
She missed the second, but it's a 9-point lead.
3 minutes to play in the first half. Back it comes to Nogisa, trying to grab it again as it got knocked away. Just too much energy from the Egyptians right now as they come down the floor and miss the shot with Dekadi.
That is a waste. They had 2-on-1. They almost had to score and missed the layup.
Let's see if DR Congo can make them pay. Maybe still. It's going to be their possession.
Timeout called by DR Congo. Trailing by 9. 2:46 to go in the first half.
26-35 is the lead for Egypt as we approach half-time in the second game on court today.
Well, we said at the top of the programme, or start of the game rather, Tim, it looked like a close game. I didn't see it being 9 points very close to half-time. Well, I may have seen it in favour of DR Congo. I certainly didn't see Egypt coming back after that slow start they made, but all credit to them. The zone that they put out there, the 2-3 zone, really has caused DR Congo a lot of problems. Only on a rare occasion have the DR Congo move the ball to beat the zone. The way to beat a zone is either to get there first, get there before it sets up, or to move the ball around, find the holes in it, and put the ball in those holes.
We saw DR Congo themselves give away a 9-point lead early on. They were 12-3 ahead, and now they have to overturn this 9-point lead of the Egyptians, who've only gone from strength to strength.
Now DR Congo have an out-of-bounds end line. What kind of out-of-bounds play they got against this zone?
Egypt only shooting 30% inside, but 40% from downtown. That and the free throws have been the difference so far. Tumba moves it on. It's packed in the paint right now. Difficult shot on the turn for Chishoyo.
Well, they played, that came out of the timeout, that play.
Osama back to the perimeter where there's space, and then just off the foul line, the miss from Al Shawe, who holds her hand up apologetically.
Not a rebounder in sight there for Egypt.
They could do with this drop in, but it doesn't.
Exactly the same for DR Congo. No rebounding.
Backward.
DR Congo still in the man-to-man.
Al Shawe. So Dekadi, star of the show so far with 15 points. She's going to unload from deep again, and they keep on dropping.
Who would have thought a 12-point lead, very close to half-time for Egypt.
Dekadi continues to light up this game. 4-6 from downtown. And there she is with the rebound as well. The quick release down court.
Ooh, that was a travel, yes. The referee saw it, and I don't think he quite believed it when it first happened. A delayed call, a correct call.
It's not just the fact that it's a 12-point Egyptian lead. They have had opportunities wasted to make it a much more significant advantage.
Could have been 20.
Colombo.
Oh, the reach. Yeah, that's 2 foul shots.
They'll go to the line because Egypt at the foul limit. Just 1.5 minutes remaining in the quarter. Kapinga Colombo at the strike where they have struggled and continue to do so. Second is good, so 6 of 13. They're under 50% from the line. Egypt comparatively 7 of 9, 78%.
The thing is about being successful from the foul line, it gives you confidence because you know you can take it inside, and if you foul, then you're going to get something out of it.
Back out for Abdel Fattah. They're all doing it now. Egypt starting to run away with it.
Don't foul in the low post.
Well, the lead at 14 as DR Congo turn it over. They will be desperate for half-time to come. They need to regroup and refocus. 14 is very much doable in terms of a comeback, but you can't see one coming at the moment. Al-Sharway on to Abdel Fattah, who hit that last shot. Al-Sharway again, forcing one up. Recovered under the hoop, and contact as Awad threw it up there. She'll go to the line for 2.
Well, at the start of the game, Tim, I emphasised the fact that DR Congo have a distinct height advantage here, but to give up rebounds in that situation, it's almost criminal, especially when your opponents are shooting foul shots like they are. And they continue to. Well, they did.
And again on the offensive end for DR Congo as well, we've not really seen that height advantage inside since the opening 5 minutes or so.
1 from 2. But, equals DR Congo's effort from the line last time they were there.
15 points the advantage. They turn it over again, Congo, and here they come.
That's a good decision. It was a 5-on-3 momentarily. Decided to regroup in the half court.
Congo got back relatively quickly. Deghani. Oh my word! Another Deghani dagger. She's been devastating from downtown.
There's no touch about her shot. She heaved it up and it went in.
You can see why. She averaged close to 20 points per game in the qualifiers.
5 seconds.
She's going to be beyond that here.
No,
there's
surely
another one.
not. Surely not. Oh.
Well, this time wide of the basket. But she has been doing it all half long, Deghani. 5 of 7 before that one at the buzzer from downtown for 21 first half points. She and Egypt, very impressive indeed there. Young guns have come to play at AfroBasket 2017. They lead DR Congo 45-27 at half-time.
Well, at the start of the programme, I was a little critical of Egypt's three-point threat. They looked to me like just heaving it at the hoop. But I tell you what, 7 from 14, you can't argue with that. 50%.
She's hit 5 of those 7. Al-Sharway has hit her only attempt, as has Abdel Fattah. DR Congo don't quite know what's hit them after an early 9-point lead at 12-3. They trail at the break by as many as 18. DR Congo 27, Egypt 45 at the half. Welcome back to the Palais des Sports in Bamako, Mali, where the young Egyptian team have taken this game by storm so far, and those DR Congo players that we're seeing there have many adjustments to make in the second half if they're to come back into this one and try and win. They trail by 18 points at the half, 45 to 27 in favour of the Egyptians, despite an early 9-point lead for DR Congo. And it was the 3-point shooting of Deghani for the Egyptians who really turned the tide. 5 of 8 from downtown, including a couple from really deep, several getting nothing but net. She really has stolen the spotlight so far. 21 points in 15.5 minutes on court, supplemented by 7 points from Al Sharaway. As far as DR Congo are concerned, nobody on more than 6. Madiri hitting 3 of 5 inside, but those inside shots, that inside dominance, Roy, has dried up for DR Congo, and it's the outside shooting of the Egyptians that's really come to the forefront.
Well, it certainly has, and let's do the young lady a favour. Her parents hopefully are listening and watching. Number 8 for Egypt, Soraya Mohamed Yahia Deghani, 21 points. And, well, she's destroyed the DR Congo at the moment. Just wonder what the DR Congo have got. 18 points is, well, that's not insurmountable. But they left the court after the first half and shaking their heads thinking, what hit us? Well, that's good defence initially.
Second half and a turnover straight away from Egypt. That's the start that DR Congo needed. A simple 2 for Nyota after the turnover. They give themselves a bit of belief that they can spark a comeback. Rebound from the same player as well. Nyota doing it at both ends of the court early in the third.
Well, this is how they started the first half. DR Congo.
Cross-court pass from Lutumba. Recovers the ball again on this near side. Colombo rattles but wouldn't drop. Second bite of the cherry and a foul. And a chance to close the gap a little bit further.
Well, whatever the coach said, Papa Koyundi, at half-time in the locker room, it seems to have had an effect on DR Congo. They've come out meaning business.
Up the line is Belonda Lutumba. They look to get within 14. Out goes Rana Abdel Fattah for the Egyptians. They struggled from the stripe in the first 2 quarters, shooting under 50%, but a good start in the second half. They get them both. That didn't happen very often, if at all, in the first half. When it goes to Awad, back to Halawa, across to the far side to Al Sharaway. Second top scorer for Egypt, 9 points now. Lutumba. Almost tried to wrestle it off Colombo, and a foul. You can see at the start of the third quarter, Roy, a greater intensity about DR Congo in trying to get themselves back into this game.
Well, this is how they started the first half, so let's hope it continues. But they didn't really solve the problem of that 3-2 zone. Egypt put on the floor.
Nyota, the 3 for Lutumba. Off the hop, maybe. No. Rebound, put back up. Third time lucky, perhaps. They at least get to the line, although Egypt wanted to travel. Sharaway making a strong case to the officials that there was a travel there.
Talking about travelling, Tim, I understand the interpretation of travelling is going to change in October. I'm not sure the details, but the basic rules of the game.
I was going to say enlighten us, but
well,
a little too early.
I wish I could.
Perhaps.
I think it's basically to make sure that everybody in the world, NBA, EuroLeague, everybody else plays the same rule, because apparently they don't.
Consistency throughout different competitions and leagues always helps. Especially, I imagine, for the players who go off from their various leagues to the national teams and then have to deal with different rules.
Or different interpretations, yeah. That's smart play from the Egyptians. If you're double teamed, someone's free. That's what happened to Egypt then.
Hull where it was with the score. That's still going to be DR Congo ball. Egypt back up by 18 though, which was the difference at the half.
Well, I wasn't in the DR Congo locker room at half-time, but I would guess that the coach said, crash the boards, girls, because we're bigger than them, stronger than them, possibly more athletic than them, so let's go inside.
Egypt are quicker though, although Dekadi wasn't quick enough to catch up with that one. $18 points is the largest lead of the game. It ties the largest lead.
Well, DR Congo put a lot of effort into the beginning of the second half, but they haven't actually made any inroads. They have now, though. The lead is 16 for Egypt.
Niata getting free in the paint to finish.
And then they don't play defense. You've got to play both ends of the floor, DR Congo.
Rima Sama, who was impressive in the first half as well, driving strongly towards the hoop, getting contact, now at the line for two. Foul on the Otter. Sama misses the first. Egypt were good from the line in the first half. 8 of 11.
Well, she misses them both there. Perhaps she needs a lot of contact to draw the foul. She was hit pretty hard in the first half and still managed to shoot good foul shots.
Maderi caught the ball and tried to move it on there. It's pushed out of bounds, still DR Congo possession. Maderi, their leading scorer in the first half, using her height advantage. They bypass her this time, and it's all the way into the back court. They bypassed everybody.
Let's say there was something of a misunderstanding on the out of bounds play there.
Tekadi looking to use the frame of Al Shawe, gets past her, still penned in against this near side of the court, and it's knocked away out of bounds, still Egyptian ball.
That's a real shame actually, because that was terrific defense from Colombo, the 7 for DR Congo.
Soraya Dekadi with the inbound to Awad, and a foul. Second foul on DR Congo in the quarter. Egypt have had 3 in the first 2.5 minutes. We saw quick fouling from them in the second quarter as well. Dekadi to Awad again. Back to Halwa. She finds a passage through the paint and hangs that one up beautifully.
That's a hell of a skill, changing hands mid-flight, so to speak.
Teba. Back it comes to her towards the foul line, but stripped out of the hands of Maderi, and they're free all the way down the floor for the finish from Rima Sama.
Great hands from the Egyptian defense.
The lead is the largest of the game at 20.
I just wonder how long the Democratic Republic coach Kayode can sit and not have a timeout. He wants to make a sub. He's not quite sure who is going to make that. Who is going to be that sub? I think the sub is quite on the same wavelength either. Chanel Morango Modiri doesn't look the most enthused player, does she?
We're only 3 minutes into the second half, and whatever he said to his team at half-time in the 10-minute break only lasted about a minute.
Almost good denial. There, thought she'd stolen the ball cleanly. El Sharawi. Yeah, the Egyptian coach doesn't understand the call either. Ahmed Ashur.
Looks like Teba will inbound for the Democratic Republic of Congo. We're facing a real mountain to climb now. The remaining 17 minutes or so. Need to start hitting sooner rather than later. No look on that one. Maybe with the rebound. Third time lucky, still no luck. And even with that height advantage inside, even with the 2 offensive rebounds, they can't get a score. And Egypt all the way down the floor, grab an offensive board of their own, and Menatella Awad will go to the line.
A classic case there. You miss a layup, then you're quite likely to give up a layup at the other end because your opponents outnumber you, and that's exactly what happened there. 3 offensive rebounds, and DR Congo came up empty-handed, and then at the other end they fouled. And what's more, Egypt converted the first.
Making the most of the opportunity with Menatella Awad competing at her 3rd straight African Championships. They're up by 21 as she splits the pair. They've done well to keep Mafuta far enough away from the basket there, and here come Egypt in transition, and it's Awad who puts it in.
The classic 4-point play. DR Congo missed, Egypt didn't. And DR Congo have just gone, well, they're gone haywire at the moment.
They can't find those routes inside anymore. They're forced into the outside shot, which doesn't go down. Finally, something free inside for Madiri. That's
the worst phase of play I've seen Egypt play in a long time. They just watched the rebound, gave it up, and gave up 2 points.
Awad on the move again. This is the little hook shot this time. Back out it comes for the 3. They keep on firing from the outside. Rima Sama this time.
Congo, you've got to get the rebound. They need to talk it over. They've called timeouts.
Timeout called with a 24-point Egyptian lead. 59-35 over the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Well, it's a bit early to start talking about damage limitation as far as DR Congo are concerned. When you're trailing by 24 points, maybe a situation to say, okay, this game might have gone, so let's try and at least eat into it and make it a single-figure margin. Remember, this is just the first game of 5. The top 4 teams from each group go through. You can still go through if you lose the first game, but it doesn't help if you lose the first game by a lot.
Yeah, you've got to be concerned with the points differential come the end of the group stage, which could be a decisive factor. And so even if the win is out of reach, they still need to be fighting for each and every point. But that's not quite the case just yet. Still 15.5 minutes to play, down by 24. Stranger things have happened, but looking at the way they've played, the adaptations they've tried to make, Raw, you can't see where that comeback is coming from just yet.
Well, their psyche needs to change. They need to say to each other, come on, this game's not gone yet. We can still win this. They played really well for the first 3 minutes of the game. And then it's more or less all Egypt. And a very young Egypt as well.
We've talked about it throughout the height advantage of Congo. What adjustments have we seen from Egypt in terms of their interior defence?
We haven't. They've stuck in this 2-3 zone and it's worked. What's the old saying? If it ain't broke.
It just took them a while to get going at the start. Maybe the nerves of that delayed start, the nerves of the first game at a tournament of this magnitude for a number of the young players. Didn't take them long though.
And they're quicker to the ball as well.
On to Dekadi, but good effort to get back defensively in transition from Colombo. Still Egyptian ball.
Now, I've not seen evidence of too many well-rehearsed, well-planned out-of-bounds plays from either team.
Dekadi knocked away, able to grab it still. Inside the final 10 seconds of the shot clock, she was able to find a teammate in Awad, but under pressure under the basket. Colombo fakes the pass, gets inside, but still plenty of traffic under the hoop.
There's that 2-3 zone, they just can't get through it. The body language of the DR Congo players is, let's say, less than good. There's no eye contact out there. No one wants to look at each other and say, come on, let's do this. Hands on hips, looking rather bemused, perplexed.
Rima Sama misses the first. One more to come to try and take the advantage to 25. The advantage keeps on growing, despite the best efforts of DR Congo to change things around. The wind very much still in the Egyptian sails. They'll take the opportunity to move it on instead of the outside shot. The long two wouldn't drop for Teba.
There was no desire on the offensive glass there.
Awad's getting in behind the defence and again contact.
Foul there, number 9 for DR Congo. And the first thing she did was look for the bench for some inspiration, perhaps. What's gone wrong, coach?
DR Congo looking around for their leaders to take them by the scruff of the neck, try and haul them back into this game, but it's starting to disappear beyond the horizon. Egypt have started missing a few foul shots, but again, DR Congo haven't been able to capitalise. They missed both it. Colombo hands it off to Bologna. Tumba.
Oh, that's better. That's lovely passing.
Through the paint that time. Mafuta with the finishing touch.
Now again, we take no sides, but we do like close games. That was lovely ball distribution there by DR Congo, and they need a lot more of that. Can do it. Can they do it consistently?
They need some defence as well. They're already at the foul limit.
That's better defence.
Oh, they've lost it straight away again.
Oh, I would. But it is, well, luckily for them, their possession. All credit to the Egyptian defence there. They stopped the fast break legally.
Bologna across to Tumba. Moved around by Hongi to this near side. To Bologna again. Tumba going inside to Hongi.
Shot clock on 2.
Take the outside shot. There's one right out of the Soraya Dekali playbook.
Is that the inspiration that DR Congo need?
The shot perhaps to spark them into life. They trail by 20, having been down by as many as 25. 13 minutes still to play.
They've woken the crowd up anyway.
The DR Congo support away to our left, making some noise for the first time in a long time. Desperation shot at the end of the shot clock. Perhaps exactly what the doctor ordered.
That foul was all about foot speed. The DR Congo player, well, she let her man go past her, then fouled.
Egypt at the line for 2, and after a little bit of a struggle in this third quarter, they get that first one to go. They get them both, thanks to Radwa Sharif. 22 still the deficit, but at least a bit of optimism for the Congolese. Can they build on it? Bologna, who hit that three-pointer a few moments ago, to the foul line, to Kalumbo. They can't make it back-to-back baskets just yet. Offensive rebound though, and a fresh 14 to work with. Across it goes to Haimji. Oh, she rode the contact and almost put it in. She'll have to earn them both from the line though.
I think the referee signalled 2 actually. Did she? I think the referee signalled an N1.
Over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and Egypt up by 22, but DR Congo a chance to close the gap slightly here. Both teams at the foul limit now. That one bounces in off the front rim.
Closest they've been for a long time.
They can't take it below
And a violation,
21.
lane violation.
Done better the last couple of minutes. They need to do even better than that though. I think even at this pace they wouldn't quite have enough time. Sharif over her head, very nearly dropped. Rebound grabbed by Mafuta. Quick burst away by Bolonga to try and quicken the pace. She receives it again now, and she's fouled straight away by Abdel-Fattah.
2 minutes left in the third quarter for DR Congo to get themselves back into this game. Pretty even third quarter, but they needed a big surge. What can they do in the last 2 minutes?
Look at the breakdown of scoring. Early on, Egypt took the first quarter by 2 points, 19-17. That's been trailed by 9 though at one stage. Then the second quarter, 26-10. The Egyptians, led by Dekadi's outside shot. Only 17-14 so far here in the third, but Egypt still have the edge, having led by 18 at the half. Despite a mini DR Congo comeback from 25 down, it's still a 21-point differential.
Oh, no wonder the lady on your screen there has got her head in her hands almost, missed the offensive rebound, and then fouled on the break and gave away 2 foul shots.
Sharif hitting a shot from the line as she did not too long ago. She made a pair. She makes this pair as well. The lead back to 23. Wanji gets it back under a bit of pressure. She finds a way to wriggle out. Didn't quite get the drop that the footwork deserved.
Lady on your screen there, Helwa, number 69 for Egypt. I think she was the first sub in for Egypt early in the first half, and her hustle and bustle certainly made an impact on the game.
Timeout called here with 1 minute and 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Egypt leading by 23 over DR Congo, 64-41.
Well, Tim, now might be the time to talk about a fantastic period of play 2 years ago in Cameroon, when Angola were leading in the semi-final by 10 points, and then they didn't score in the fourth quarter. 20-0. They lost that fourth quarter. So will DR Congo say, well, history proves we can do it? But do they believe?
I said a few minutes ago, stranger things have happened, but 23 down. They do have 12 minutes. So you're looking at, on average, hauling back 2 points a minute. Seems a little more doable when you put it in those terms. They need to go on some kind of a run, though, and sooner rather than later.
So on the foul line, it is Kabobo Hayongai. Very flat shot that goes in.
They certainly need to make their free throws. Need everything they can get right now. Second one off the mark. It's a 22-point Egyptian lead. Alwa, who's had that big impact you were talking about. Abdel-Fattah.
Yeah, the defense has stepped up in intensity. That's what happened in the timeout.
They've come up with a steal as well. Almost lost it again, which we saw earlier in the quarter, but a foul call.
There was a definite explosion of intensity there from DR Congo coming out of that timeout.
There needs to be. They've done it at times in very short bursts. It's about sustaining it for more than a minute or two. They need that kind of intensity for the last 11 and a half minutes, you think, to pull this one back.
And you've got to put your foul shots in.
1 of 2 on their last trip. 0 of 2 on this one. Ehab to the far side. Dekadi from deep. Hasn't quite found the shooting range the way she did in the first half.
Oh, but they got the rebound.
Dekadi, this time she'll drive inside, draws the attention of 3, kicks it to the far side, open look for Ehab. That one won't go down. Rebound eventually reeled in by Mafuta. Chance to spin away now for Natumba. Gets away from three of them. Natumba with the pass as well. Halwa under the basket, trying to put off the shooter, and does enough. And that's another missed opportunity.
Well, it's all gone harem-scarum. That's not what DR Congo need.
No-look pass to Halwa. Mid-range shot off the mark. Grabs her own rebound. And then there's a whistle to stop a frantic passage of play.
Well, the message for DR Congo is if you're going to play with such intensity, you've got to have an end product on it. They're doing everything right until the final shot.
Halwa gets to the line. 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Egypt by 22. It remains that as she misses the first. She hits the second. Halwa, 5 points in the game. Bologna against Abdel-Gawad. On it goes to Wanji. Into the low post, trying to turn against the two underneath was Nyota, but missing the shot. They pick up the pieces and put it in.
That's great play. She's surrounded by 4 players then.
Niham. Certainly no drop in the intensity of the pace on offense from Egypt as she goes all the way through.
Absolutely no fear from Egypt.
Dekani thought that was Egyptian ball, but it goes the other way. They're keeping DR Congo at bay. Still a 23-point advantage as we get close to the fourth quarter. 11.8 seconds remaining in the third. Dekani thought that she maybe had forced the turnover. Instead, it's a foul that sends Wanji to the line. She gets the first.
Very snatchy foul shot, but the coach doesn't care if it goes in.
She's one of their players who's actually been shooting well from the line, but as I say that, she misses the second. They get the offensive rebound, so a chance to make it a 3-point play, and they do. Wanji is on the end of it.
2 seconds.
Can they throw something up here at the buzzer? They can, but it won't go for Abdel-Gawad. And at the end of 3, it's a 20-point Egyptian advantage. They've slightly increased their 18-point halftime lead. They lead DR Congo 67-47.
مش عايزهم في البريس يضغطوا علينا نتلهوى. اي حد فينا ما يعملش دريبل ويقع، ولو وقف كلنا بنقطع عليه. يبقى الراجل ده لو عمل
Autre. Il n'est que la grande de l'équipe qui fera la protection de l'anneau au 3e cercle. Les autres en défense, autre. Posez au pas. Lancez.
Well, that is the prize for all of the teams here at this AfroBasket Women's Championship. 2 places on the line at the World Cup in Spain next year for the 2 finalists. And Egypt very much an outsider for the tournament, but they have impressed in the opening 3 quarters of this one with all of their young players who've had success at under 18 and under 16 and under 19 level. And Dekani has been the pick of the bunch. 5 3-pointers in the first half to thrust Egypt into a commanding lead, and they've never really looked back despite the best efforts of DR Congo in the third quarter. Still, Egypt able to extend the lead from 18 at the break up to 20. And this is going to have to be a bit of a miracle of a fourth quarter if they're to get this one back, but it has happened.
It has happened
in
indeed.
The past.
2 years ago, Angola gave up 20 points without reply in the fourth quarter in the semi-final. So can the Democratic Republic of Congo make Egypt give up 20 points without reply. It's a big ask, but it's an ask nevertheless.
Start of the fourth quarter then. DR Congo 47, Egypt 67. The Egyptians start with the ball with Abdel Gawad. Iham on to Sharif. Sharif to the foul line and fouled on the foul line.
10 seconds of good defense and then the foul.
There's plenty of noise coming from the Congolese fans across to our left, but not really to any avail in terms of helping their team out. Dekani, they've invited her to shoot from downtown. That's something you don't want to do.
She doesn't need a second invitation.
A little bit of a lull in her three-point shooting in the third quarter, but back in business in the fourth. And they force the turnover as well. Dekani, pass over the top. Abdel Gawad, free down the floor to finish.
And who got her hands on the ball? Number 8, Big Hattie. And she gave the assist as well.
So for Dekani, it's now 24 points. Shooting 6 of 10 from downtown. Nobody else in double figures for Egypt, 9 for Osama.
Just to clarify, she's got Soraya on her shirt. That's a surname, or Christian name rather. Hani, what we've got down as her surname anyway.
Nobody yet in double figures either for DR Congo. 9 from Wanji as they knock that one down. There's a steal.
A little full court pressure now from DR Congo. That's how they've got to do it. They've got to maintain it now for 10 minutes. And it works again.
Doing it again.
Will we see a timeout?
They needed a spot from somewhere, and she's provided it, a 7-point surge to give them a lifeline.
Well, that woke the Egyptian bench up, and the pressure continues.
So it's not quite done and dusted just yet. 19 points, the difference. 8.5 minutes to play. Whistle on this play.
Soraya Big Hardy is showing great leadership here. She recognised they had a problem on the press and took the initiative and drew the foul. And here she is again.
Ball in the hands of their young star now, Iham.
Not from there, surely not.
She goes again from deep. Feels like she can hit from anywhere. Colombo back to Bolongia, fires it in quickly towards the edge of the paint. Too far away from the basket for Mafuta. She's closely guarded, Dekani. Spin move in the paint this time, doing it inside as well, doing a bit of everything. She brought her dancing shoes today too. Chance at a three-point play as Dekani chases a 30-point game.
Well, we often talk about basketball intelligence, and this kid on the line, she's a thinker, she really is. She recognised that they had a problem against the press, and she sorted it out almost single-handedly. Boy, is she making the DR Congo pay for it.
29 now for Dekani. 3 of 3 from the line, 9 of 16 from the field. Bolongia scored a 3 in the third, and she's got one here in the fourth as well. 19 points the difference once more. Abdel Gawad
got a clear out.
Sharif with a good look, mid-range, puts it in.
Terrific offense there from Egypt. They had almost a clear out, spread the floor, opened up the key and made the easy score, and then got the rebound.
Wildly off the mark from a good position at the other end. Here goes Abdel Gawad again. Dekani this time chooses to move it on. Oh, they are full of confidence.
Oh, that was
beautiful. Team basketball from the young Egyptians who are blowing DR Congo to bits.
So had an open three, she declined it, found an open man instead, and they still scored. And that's a three-shot foul.
The lead up to 23, but the chance to reduce it back to 20 as Colombo is hit on the outside shot. And look at that ball movement.
Sublime.
That perhaps the best team basketball we've seen so far in this tournament as we approach the end of the second game. Another 4 to come on this court today in the Mali capital, including the hosts in action, of course, later this evening. We've seen a blowout win for the defending champion Senegal, and now we're seeing the start of perhaps something special from an Egyptian team full of young players. Dekani, she's the pick of the bunch, but she's had it picked off her this time. There's a bit of fighting down on the deck.
DR Congo haven't lost this game yet, and they're not 22 points behind because of their foul shooting, but it doesn't help when you have such a low percentage from the free throw line. The only close skill in the game, and they have been, well, let's say less than good.
Colombia. Colombo back to Nyoka. He's tried to spark a comeback in the fourth, but it's not happened, and here they come. Dekani down the floor, lays it up and in. 31-point game for Soraya Dekani.
And the Egyptians have just realigned their zone somewhat as well. It looks like just an ordinary 2-1-2 zone now as well. It's gone back from a 2-3, and DR Congo just haven't recognised it, haven't sorted it out.
That one off the mark from Bologna, who's made a couple in the second half, and they're just coming in transition on the fast break. Dekani got hit across the face there. They'll try anything to stop it.
Dynamite. That's what she is. Lady on the foul line.
Dynamite from downtown, dynamite from the line.
I'll tell you what, she's cute as well. Look at that. She got hit, got a finger in the eye, and then decided to do a shoelace up, take a bit of time out of the game, compose yourself.
She's been the shining light as Egypt look to make their mark at senior level.
And sportsmanlike was called, so 2 shots and possession. 30 points. More than half the score by the DR Congo. 2 from 2 and possession.
8th place they finished in Cameroon a couple of years ago. 3-5 the record. They upset a few teams, including the defending champions at the time, Angola, in the group stages. They look like a team that can cause a few upsets again here. A couple of years extra experience under their belts.
Oh, what a play! Waiting for the trailing player. Unfortunately, they missed, but that again, a super play.
Bologna pass back out to the foul line. Mafuta, offensive rebounds. Nyoka and put in.
Well, it's a half-hearted press now from DR Congo. They've got to think about damage limitation. They can still go through taking a loss from this game.
Each and every point potentially pivotal. Halwa shifts it on to the far side, short from Sharif.
But Egypt are playing with so much confidence.
Really are oozing confidence. We wondered how they would react to the occasion. There's a steal.
Don't foul, don't foul. Oh my word, she did foul.
Abdel Gawad to the line for 2. That's the foul limit for DR Congo in the fourth, with still 5.5 minutes to play. I think in terms of the W, this one is pretty much in the books now, but that points differential is, as we've talked about on numerous occasions, potentially very significant. DR Congo, a team that might be on the cusp of reaching the quarterfinals or not. They have to limit the difference as much as possible, in case that is the deciding factor at the end of the 5-game group stage.
The Egyptian coach Ashura is not concerned about the points difference now. He knows he can give the game to his bench, rest a few of his stars.
Moved across to this near side to Colombo.
It's a travel, but well, at this stage of the game.
Pick up the pieces, but still missed the shot. Offensive rebound, Colombo. Back to the foul line it goes. Mafuta across to the far side. Looking to quicken the pace, looking to find something, but it's not happening.
And the loudest groan of the the day so far resonated around the sports hall then. Another turnover by DR Congo.
The caddy just brimming with confidence and ability.
Hesitation,
a bit
dribble.
Of a screen. She goes around and she hangs it up and gets it to drop, doing a bit of everything, showing a full repertoire of shots.
And that all came from a beautiful hesitation dribble, lost the defense and floated it in.
33 for Dekadi. Impressed by her numbers in qualifying, 19.5 points per game. She may well go on to near double that in the opening game at the tournament itself. Howler's hook shot off the mark, offensive rebound put in by Noor Ali.
And again, remember we mentioned at the start of the game that Egypt were without their star player who's looking for a visa in the States at the moment.
I think they've got a new start.
Absolutely.
That one bounces in for Tumba. Lead 29 though. Dekadi. She's not going to stop. Halwa. She floats one up, wouldn't drop. Rebounds for Colombo. Into the final 4 minutes. Hesitation before the three-point shot. Dekadi, of course, with the rebound. As it goes to Halwa. There's a whack, the captain, making her mark as well.
Now, with all due respect to the Egyptian coach, I would suggest the game is, well, it's done and dusted. Why not take Dekadi out now? The last thing he wants is for his star player to turn an ankle.
Three-point shot off the mark for Halwa. Comes Colombo, and it goes inside to Niota, back out, plenty of room here for Mafuta to get to the basket. Corner of the paint, down in the end of the putback. Coach, that you want to win by as many as possible, but also protect players and give minutes to other players that may be called upon later in the tournament.
The timeout call.
2 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. Egypt, very impressive indeed. I think 92 so far, maybe the century mark in some, and they lead the Democratic Republic of Congo 92 to 64.
What you say is you're training by 28. Limit the damage. He can still qualify. Now is the time to chastise his players that have been beaten by a better team.
Certainly helps hanging on that bench. They do have the look of a team. Doesn't really know what's hit them. Didn't expect it almost.
As the Egyptian coach shot one. Surely he's going to give his star player, she is great at it. She deserves a break. But let's hope she's the no-look pass. Of skills. And she's with a three. Goodness me. 33 points.
Let's remember as well that no rest for these players over the 3 days of the tournament. Every team on each of the 3 days, so they'll play again tomorrow and then also on Sunday before they get a rest day.
There is Saturday. Well done, coach.
33 points, 11 18 from the field, 6 11 from downtown, 5 and 5 from the sky. Work is very much done. Points the difference.
Still in that zone. Sending a message there.
Across to the far side. Colombo shoots the outside shot. Go. What? Let's take some scoring responsibility without it. course of the group stage, you can almost bank on them making the quarter-finals. If they keep it up in the knockout stage, then who knows what they can do.
Well, there was good offense initially by DR Congo, but they came up with a missed shot. Did everything right except the shot.
Futa, nice step down the baseline for the finish. Final minute and a half here. Rima Sama. The captain, Manatala Awad. Sama prodding and probing. In no hurry. Move it on. Halwa open on the perimeter. Colombia are going to go coast to coast. Misses the shot though. 2-on-1 fast break here. And they put it in with Awad, who's really complimented Dekadi in terms of scoring.
DR Congo miss a layup, Egypt don't. I wouldn't say it's all been about shot selection by DR Congo as well. They've had a lot of good shots, or rather open shots, but they've missed them. And then all credit to the Egyptian defense. They will not concede until they've got the ball.
They really do look like a well-oiled machine, the Egyptians.
And again, all credit to the coach. He's had to make adjustments, having lost his star player.
Star player missing, young players coming into the team for the first time, but it's not showing. Once again, they hit them on the fast break in transition as they get hit to go to the line for the and one.
Well, again, it was actually very good refereeing, because the ball had gone, and had he not called that foul, then, well, you know, the game could deteriorate into, well, a very scrappy situation. That's a good call.
97 points with 39 seconds remaining. We said that Senegal, the defending champions, sent a message with their haul of over 100 points in the opening game. This is something on another level, something that we didn't expect.
Certainly didn't. And,
they might well hit 100 here as they steal it. Awad. They're going to get to 99. 28.2 seconds remaining. Looking for another steal as well. Abdelgawad all over the Tumba on this near side, can only force it out of bounds. There's no letter whatsoever. Free down court for the easy two, though, was Nyota.
I'm trying to think of words to describe Egypt, but they're very courageous, gritty, determined, and very, very well organised.
Here they come. Little fake on the pass wouldn't go down. A little overzealous, perhaps, in terms of hitting that one, which would have taken them over the century. And the two will drop for Nyota. With 3 seconds remaining, can they throw it up for the 100? Well, they do.
I'm not sure they got it away.
I don't think they were actually looking at the time, and we didn't hear the buzzer, but certainly the clock expired. So they will have to settle for 99, but I'm sure they'll be pleased about that. Nonetheless, a commanding victory over the Democratic Republic of Congo by 27 points in the end, led by the 33 of their young superstar Dekadi. Has finished DR Congo 72, Egypt 99.
Number 8 for Egypt, Soraya Mohamed Yahia A. Degadi. I'm not sure what the A stands for, but to give her a full name, what a performance. 33 points in a big, big win for Egypt. They've made a statement, and DR Congo, they have to regroup. They're not out of it yet. Egypt aren't in the quarterfinals yet, but they've taken a big step towards that.
Very much a team to watch as this tournament progresses, and she is very much a player to watch as the tournament progresses. 33 points off 11 of 18 shooting, 6 of 11 from downtown, including 5 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first half, and 5 of 5 from the free throw stripe as well.
Well, Egypt haven't got too many fans here to salute. The gallant DR Congo go to their fans, who've done their best, made a lot of noise, the fans, with the Vuvuzela. Pesky Vuvuzela, that is. And so the DR Congo have to regroup. Egypt hoping to get a good rest now, ready for day 2. What a result. 99-72. Egypt.
33 of Dekani, 10 for Sharif, and then 9 for Al-Sharawi, 8 for the number 5 Noor Ali. And for DR Congo, just a couple of players in double figures, Natumbas 12 and Kwanji's 11. It's been a real pleasure watching this team and this performance. Let's hope it's the type of quality that continues through the tournament. It's been a pleasure having you with us for it as well. The final score, the DR Congo 72, Egypt 99.